Hello and welcome to the diary of a Backmarker's first IMSA video of the 2022 year, featuring the newly reformed sim racing 3D prints team with LeBron and Jackson. A lot has changed with my driving since the last time I went into iRacing, and I had been focusing on Assetto Corsa Competizione in the meantime. Jackson and LeBron were my major rivals in the Apollo Racing Club and Division, and we all made a deal to form up as a team at the end of the season. Both of them are extremely fast, and they're really great guys too. In this split, I did end up with Jackson, so it was great to see our livery on track. It is a combination of the McLaren MP44 and the Porsche 962 Rothman livery, along with the Gulf colors that I really love so much. This week, we are on the newly updated Watkins Glen, one of my favorite tracks because of how fast and flowy it feels to me. I managed to put myself into 4th place for qualifying, and I'm really happy with where I'm at. The race gets underway, and I'm wary of the start, as the last race I was punted and wrecked right off the track, and I forgot to save the replay, so I really can't show that off. But I do make a mistake, because I do forget the tires are way under pressure because of how slow the safety car is, go extremely wide, incurring an incident point. But it's fine, since I won't risk any damage to the car, despite losing a lot of positions. But the words on the front left of my car does say keep calm, and it reminds me that it's a 45-minute race, and I'll have plenty of time. I've noticed the number 24 car is a little quicker than my pace and gets a much better exit out of turn 8. Fred, one of my coaches and fellow teammate, gives me a quick warning that the driver might be looking to pass. I have to concede the position once their nose is tucked in, and it wouldn't be worth ruining both our races. This is what I live for with multi-class racing, and as my teammate LeBron says, this is where the real race starts. It isn't just about having an extremely fast pace, but it's also about knowing how to navigate and use traffic to your advantage. I end up taking the inside of turn 1 since the Porsche gives me space, and I'm able to chase down the driver ahead without losing too much speed onto the straight. I kill my speed quickly after hearing the yellow flake come out, and I see the smoke up ahead. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm guessing someone's ended a little too hard into the chicane. This is a case where a slower GT3 should just hold their line. The LMP2 is a much faster car, and I can easily get around them regardless of what line they are supposed to take. At least, that's what I am hoping for, as I try not to assume that the drivers are trying to do anything wrong intentionally, but this little hiccup has allowed the LMP2 field behind to start catching up to me. Multi-class racing is where I think I shine a lot at times, since I don't have the outright pace to be beating the faster drivers on this track. A lot of it comes from quickly assessing the risk and reward of getting ahead of the GT3 field. I know I can get past this large group before turn 8, and then I'll have enough breathing room to try to create more of a gap from the cars behind. So I decided to risk threading the needle, and thankfully the GT3 cars hold their line, and I'm able to get ahead of the LMP2s behind as they're forced to slot in behind the slower field. Moments like this are what I love about multi-class racing. The team has been noticing how much I have been able to catch up to the number 9 car, and we think it has to do with us running a lot less swing, and because of this, the chase is on. And as much I love getting through the GT3 field in racing, I love chasing down a fellow competitor, and it tends to make me focus even better. It isn't just about winning the races as much as I'd like to be winning, but also just finding good fights on the track. Despite possibly being able to pass at turn 1 and diving for the inside, I know I have the faster pace on the straights, and I don't want to give up the toe to the number 9 car behind. So I let them get by me, knowing that I'll be able to overtake them much more easily and in a safer manner just a little further down the track. This was just a case of pushing too hard, with the car ahead being a lap car. I've been sitting in 4th place, which is just from managing traffic so well and staying consistent. If I had just held the consistency, I probably could have avoided spinning out at turn 9, which is a rough spot, as now I have to sit and wait for traffic to get by. This really sucks, as I end up losing more than a handful of places, but just because I messed up my race, it doesn't mean that I can mess up everyone else's. Once there's enough of a gap, I'm able to get the car turned around and decide to head into the pits quickly just in case there's any damage. Despite a quick splash and dash and not taking any tires, I'm staying to repair the extra damage, and this puts me further back down. But I don't want to risk a lack of aero down the straights or worse, steering being messed up. And I don't want to have to do another lap around Watkins Glen being messed up, which would force myself to have another pit stop. My teammate Jackson has been using the same setup and has been going faster down the straights, and because of this has been holding up the number 9 car. This has allowed me in a course of under 2 laps or so to reduce the 8-second gap quickly. Like I said, we're pretty sure the number 9 car was just running too much wing as the round of pit stops had occurred already. Here you can just see how much quicker the SimRacing 3D Print LMP2 setup is thanks to Fred, another one of our teammates who will be joining us for the 24 hours of Daytona. I easily get by before turn 7 and I start focusing on trying to regain some of the places that I had lost. And I was once again pushing out of my comfort zone. I think I was starting to worry about the 2 LMPs behind me, and I was already rattled a bit, so my lap times were going down. I was looking to get some traffic in between me and the number 9 and 29 car, and ended up cooking the turn and locking my tires, so I ended up losing out on 2 places and throwing all the hard work that Jackson did to help me out. This wasn't the prettiest race I've ever had, and I definitely was really disappointed with how rattled I had gotten. After a few bumps and crashes, I started second-guessing my breakpoints and turn-ins. It wasn't anyone's fault but my own, and I threw away a potential strong 4th place finish. But you live and you learn, and I'm looking forward to another outing at Watkins Glen in the IMSA Endurance race with Jackson and LeBron. And I'd like to say a big thank you to my sponsors, Frost Giant Games, who you can check out for your board gaming needs, and they're always updating their stock of Magic the Gathering cards. Bug Blasters Incorporated for your pest control needs in the greater Green Bay area, and to GM3's Combative Grappling, who is the current record holder in the UFC for most middleweight submissions. I'll be posting more information when he releases his DVD for your jiu-jitsu needs. Thanks for staying to the end of the video, and I hope to see you out on track. Thank you very much.